Hello everyone, my fellow assets. Ugochukwu here, co-founder of Asset Chain. Well, as you all know, we're going to be launching our public mainnet in about 2 weeks. But before then, there is a major problem that we solved on Asset Chain that I'd like to bring to us, and it's around the peer-to-peer trading market, or P2P market as most people know it. So starting with some statistics, in 2024, it's estimated that over $300 billion worth of transactions or worth of assets were traded in the P2P markets, right? Now, because these trades were not on chain, it's an estimate. It can be much higher than that. I actually believe it's much higher. And in 2025, it's estimated that this number will triple. So we're looking at maybe close to $1 trillion worth of transactions in a year, meaning that we're maybe doing over $2.5 billion per day or $3 billion per day, right? Now, P2P transactions, what it means is that for people who don't know, P2P transactions are, where people buy assets or trade between themselves. There's no middleman. So in the crypto world, people can say someone that has Nigerian Naira might want to buy USDT or USDC, and they reach out to a P2P merchant and then send the money to the merchant's bank account, and then the merchant will send them crypto. It sounds easy, but most times there's a lot of fraud. And what happens in that case, when there's fraud, is that it's very difficult to, track the user or to get your funds back. Also, one of the major problems that occurs in systems like this is when you do a lot of transactions with people, most of the time they now know your bank account, they know how much they are sending to you, and then people get tracked, and it's not great. So people like to do huge transactions and also maintain their privacy, and it doesn't exist currently. Also, there is liquidity fragmentation. Let's say you want to buy over $100,000 worth of assets, for example. One merchant or the person you usually trade with might not be able to fulfill that transaction. And what it means is that you need to reach out to about 3 or 4 people, and they will have varying rates. And it means you only close that transaction using multiple parties, right? So that's like liquidity fragmentation. You don't have a place where you can go and access this liquidity. Then another problem is around for the developers. Me, I'm an engineer, so I need to talk about this one. So developers might want to create solutions that will allow them to reach a global audience. Say, for example, someone in Nigeria is building an application that needs, let's say, someone in Kenya or someone in America or someone that will help Nigerians in different countries spend maybe money from their app, Nigerian Naira from their app in real time, right? Or spend money from their card or something in real time. On a normal day, what they will do is they need to talk to banks or fintechs and do lots of paperwork that will take months to actually complete before they even set up, and they'll have major limitations. And most of these fintechs or banks will not be able to have enough liquidity because they are central entities to handle large amount of transactions, or even for the developer to even test out if the system works. Imagine going through 2 months of paperwork to be able to test out a simple solution, right? So these systems, these errors or these problems are things that plague the current P2P setup, right? So most people have to go to exchanges, meet merchants. Even though merchants will claim to be verified, a lot of them are still fraudulent, right? Also, merchants might not be fraudulent. They might actually want to send funds but to the buyers, but one of the challenges will be maybe bank systems are down and someone can make mistake maybe in their crypto wallet where they're supposed to send money to. Those things have happened a lot of times, even to me, right? So I can tell you that it's a major problem. Now, what we've done at Asset Chain, how we've solved this problem, is by using the decentralized financial technology, DeFi, right? So DeFi basically says, look, transactions, right, economic transactions or financial transactions can happen without having human beings. It's going to be automated by, software, in this case, software on the blockchain called smart contracts. And we're using the decentralized exchange as the entity or a collection of smart contracts to make this happen. That's what you call DEX, right? So the parties in the DEX include 1, the trader, that's the person that wants to buy an asset, who is the user, right? The P2P merchant, and in this P2P merchant will now be the liquidity provider, right? And those are just basically the 2 people, and of course the DEX itself. But there's another part of the solution that I would now mention, which is the stable coin, that's the Nigerian Naira, the CNGN. Before now, you even if you're doing a P2P transaction, you must do from your Nigerian bank account to the customer or to the P2P merchant. And the P2P merchant, if you're selling your USDT, would only send money to your bank account. And that's a major risk. Like I said, as part of the problems, people can actually know your bank account and can track you. But with CNGN, you can now have one-to-one representation of your Nigerian Naira on chain. And what it means is that once your Naira is on chain, you can leverage that, you can use that Naira to do massive transactions, and your wallet address is your wallet address. People don't really need to know who you are. They interact with your wallet address and there is no problem. So you see that with CNGN in the DEX, all you just need to do as a P2P merchant is to add the liquidity. People will go and trade. When they want to buy USDT, they use CNGN and the USDT gets into their wallet instantly. They don't need to ask you for anything. If they want to get Naira, they just go to the same DEX and they swap the USDT, right, for CNGN, and they get CNGN. And the best thing about the CNGN is that it's one-to-one. You can withdraw it to your bank account directly using apps like Zen Finance, right, on Android, iOS, on Telegram, or on web. And there are other apps as well that support CNGN. So for the distribution, it's there. And once CNGN is €1, you don't need to pay any gas fees or any transaction fees to withdraw it to your bank account. That's the good thing about it, right? And also on Asset Chain, as you're performing your swap transactions and your on-chain transactions on the DEX, it is free. We are sponsoring your gas fee, so you don't need to bother yourself about saying, oh, I'll spend X amount in gas fees. No, you will not spend any amount of money on gas fees. So our goal right now is to reach out to these P2P merchants. We know that a lot of you are in different, centralized platforms. You're on WhatsApp, you're on Telegram, doing transactions on a daily basis, right? And some of these problems I've mentioned have also affected you. So we're reaching out to you to say, come, we have a form, register on that form. We're going to be doing trainings. We're going to release like videos on how you can learn about DeFi and how DeFi can improve your business. Actually, even regular FX people who do, USD to Nigerian Naira, a lot of them are now trying to upgrade or get into crypto. This is also a major opportunity for you to learn how to leverage decentralized finance, how to leverage the blockchain to be able to do your transactions. You don't necessarily need to move around on the streets anymore. You just need to have your liquidity on the DEX, and people trading, even your customers, you can tell them, look, go and buy it on the DEX. And as they are trading, you're collecting your transaction fees and you're claiming your fees in real time. So it's not like you need to wait for us to send it. No, it's a decentralized system. You control everything. You control the wallet, right? And we've actually seen this play out in like an early phase on Zen Finance app. So we created a small module on the Zen Finance app that allows you to swap CNGN to USDT. And we've been getting massive feedback. A lot of people are like, wow, this is, a new dimension to P2P. But it's not even the complete solution. It's just, an early part or a small part of the solution. So you can just swap your USDT to CNGN and CNGN to USDT in real time, right? You don't need to now go and ask people for rates. Everything is happening in real time. And your CNGN is like your Nigerian Naira. You can always send it to your bank account. So this is exactly what we're doing. I've dropped a link on this post. Please fill that form. Also, if this is actually open to everybody anywhere in the world. So let's say you're in the US, you're any part of the world, you want to provide liquidity. Feel free, you can provide liquidity. You can also trade, right, on the Asset Chain DEX. And we have great perks, great advantages for doing this. One is we have a trading fee commission, right, where for people who are trading, you actually earn commission on fees. So also for liquidity providers, anytime people trade, you also earn fees, and also you earn points, and those points will be used to release prizes and other assets to you. But it's a very interesting thing that we have created, and we really want you to join us in making this happen. Thank you very much.